Cookie Swirl? See?
Ooh, chocolatey chippy cookies, are you ready to create a squishy milk bud? Oh yes, oh yes! Alright, I have had awesome cookie fans requesting for me to make a squishy milk bud, so here we go. Alright, so I'm gonna start out by making milk bud out of this sponge right here. It's just a regular average sponge that you can find anywhere. It's actually where Cookie Nut came from. Alright, so I'm gonna take my scissors. Now for any of my younger cookie fans who are gonna make this project, make sure you have an adult help you with scissors. Safety first! So I'm gonna cut out Milk Bud's shape.
Milk Bud.
Whoop, there we go. So there's my little chunk of sponge. And I'm just gonna fix up these edges a little bit better so they're a little bit sharper. Alright, so here is my little Milk Bud, little milky carton. Now I'm just gonna create the next portion on Milk Bud. It's just gonna be the little milk topper part. So I'm actually gonna cut that piece from my sponge. Oop, almost. Oop, there we go. So there's my little chunk. So now I'm just gonna kind of round out the sides.
Trim those down.
And as I'm cutting it, I'm gonna leave the little top portion here, and it'll start looking like the little milk topper part here on Milk Bud. So you need to cut this little piece down here, so I'm just gonna work on this side. Alright, here's my little Milk Bud topper piece now, as you can kind of see, and it does not have to be perfect, just like that. But as you can see, it's a little bit long, so I'm actually going to just trim that off. And now I have my little Milk Bud top piece here, except for this side actually has the little spout open. So I'm going to use some of my little scrap pieces. I'm just going to cut off a little piece here. This one looks good. And I'm just going to trim it so it's kind of that little Milk Bud shape. There we go. This piece should be good enough. So a little milk spout part. Now we need a straw. So again, just from my little scrap material, whoop, I'm gonna cut out a little piece and just kind of round it out to make a little straw. Should be good, but it's just a little too tall. It kind of looks like a French fry. Do a little snip, take out a tiny little piece. Ooh, there we go. So the straw kind of now has a bend in it. Round out the front part, right? The part where we're gonna take a sip, and that should be pretty good on Milk Bud. Now I need some ears and a mouth. So the ears, you can again use any little scrap pieces. This one should be good. Little mouth. Just round it on out perfectly like that. Might be a little thick, so I'll cut it down. Now I'm gonna use some Elmer's glue and glue it all together. Whoop. There we go. Ooh! Glue the straw down like that. And now I'll glue the straw on. Alright, so now that Milk Bud is all dry, I'm going to actually prime the sponge with just some regular white fabric paint. Give it a shake. So I'm just going to paint this on to kind of help protect the sponge, and it will make it so the puffy paint, whenever we put it on, will not absorb into the sponge. And I always like this part because I feel like I'm like totally frosting a cake or something. Yum, yummy. Ooh.
Paint.
Paint the straw. Alright, now comes the super duper fun part, is painting the Milk Bud. So Milk Bud is going to be inspired by this little blue carton, and I have been obsessed with the glow in the dark little puffy paint lately, so I'm going to be using this blue glow puffy paint. Give it a good shake. Ah, perfect. I'm gonna open it up and I am going to puffy paint this blue glow all over Milk Bud, around Milk Bud's nose. Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see this Milk Bud glow. I'm gonna get the whole top up here. I'm so excited for this squishy. Now I'm gonna leave this part of it white, because that's gonna be the place where it says meow. Super duper squishy Milk Bud. Alright, now that that side's dry, I'm gonna go to the other sides, color in and make a Milk Bud here.
Smiley face on the Milk Bud.
Just kidding.
Just color in.
And now that everything's dry, I'm going to put a second coat on. So I'm just gonna go around and around and around. And I'm gonna put on a third layer of puffy paint. Now I'm gonna go back to my white fabric paint, and I'm just gonna easily touch up any area that I got a little bit too much paint into the little white areas. Not a problem, just touch it up. All right, now I'm gonna add in some of this shiny white little puffy paint. I'm gonna add it to Milk Bud's nose, well, which is gonna be Milk Bud's mouth, and to the milk carton. Make sure you don't paint Milk Bud's ear, and of course the straw. Now I'm going to use some purple puffy paint. Now this does not glow in the dark, but that's okay. For Milk Bud's ears. Now I'm going to be using some of this natural glow puffy paint, and I'm going to put it on Milk Bud's nose and around the carton. And on the sides. And on the straw. And now that that first coat is all dry, I'm going to go in with a second coat of my paint.
Little tiny Milk Bud, yeah.
And I'll just put on a third coat of this
Puffy paint, yeah, yeah.
I want it to super duper glow, you know? This squishy is looking so perfect. All right, now I'm just going to add in the word moo. So I'm just going to use some good old pink acrylic paint. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Woohoo! And I'm just going to write out moo. Nice, thick little chubby letters. Moo. Moo. All right, now I'm just going to draw in the Milk Bud face by using some black acrylic paint. And I'm just going to use a toothpick to help me do some really little details. And I'm going to kind of break the toothpick a little bit, just like that, so it has a little bit of a flatter edge. So I'm going to dip my toothpick in some black paint and give Milk Bud that super duper happy, happy look.
Milk Bud.
Now a nose for Milk Bud. I'm even going to use the other side of my toothpick just to help me do a little doop, doop, and the little Milk Bud smile. Now I'm going to create that teeny tiny tongue on Milk Bud by taking my toothpick in my acrylic paint, just like that, and just do a tiny little doop, doop, just like that. Now to seal everything in, I'm going to be using some Mod Podge. Put just a touch on my paintbrush, and everywhere I painted with acrylic paint, I'm going to paint right over, and this will protect the paint as I'm squishing the Milk Bud Squishy. All right, Cookies, moo-hoo-hoo-hoo, where is Milk Bud? Woo! Ah, so cute. Look at this big jumbo Milk Bud. Looks absolutely amazing. Actually, it looks like these little original Milk Buds are kind of like her puppies or something. Aww. All right, so let's see just how squishy this Milk Bud Squishy actually is. Are you ready? We're gonna do the squishy test. 1, 2, Milk Bud squeeze. Whee! Ah! Oh, it is so super duper squishy, straw and all. You can totally squeeze down this Milk Bud. Oh, it feels so good. And this one is super duper squishy too. Really, really cool. Oh, all right. So now I want to see how good does Milk Bud glow in the dark. Are we ready? Set. Woo! Woo! Look at that Milk Bud. Moo-hoo-hoo. Oh, that is so cool. It's super duper glowy in the dark. And I love that you can see the moo on the milk carton perfectly, little tiny Milk Bud. Little Milky Bud. Woohoo! All right, this turned out absolutely perfect. I hope you cookies enjoyed this video of making this Milk Bud. Do not forget to subscribe for more Shopkins squishy fun, and I will see you guys glow on over to my next video. Woo! See you there. Bye, cookies. Milk Bud. Woohoo! of these Littlest Pet Shop puppy dogs had the Milk Bud milk cartons on their head? But which one was it? Puppy 1, 2, 3, or 4? Who had the Milk Buds on them? I'm sorry, I don't speak Petkins.